Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. We are starting a brand new series for the channel, and it is, in my opinion, the cutest city builder out there. We are going to start a brand new series of Timberborn, which is basically a cityscape builder with beavers, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, how do you make a cityscape cuter? How do you make it more enjoyable? You make it with beavers. Now, we're going to go ahead and jump in new game. There are two types of beavers you can currently play, Folktails and Iron Teeth. The Iron Teeth, as you can see, need to be unlocked first, so we will be playing with the Folktails. We're going to go and play on the Plains map. We're going to play on the Lakes map. I basically did the Plains map as a play test when I learned how to play the game. We're going to play on normal as well. Now, of course, if you would want to see more of this on the channel, please do hit that like button. Please do chuck them down in the comments below. Make lots of noise. Help the video grow, because personally, from the little I've played of this game, I think it is really, really fun, and I would love to keep playing this for y'all. I don't know why I said y'all. I don't know why I went like South USA there, you know, went down into those, you know, that lovely Bible battle, you know. Hey, y'all, we'd love to keep playing this for y'all. Now, we are going to call this town Beavertopia, named by my lovely wife. And we're going to pause, because time is precious here. I can tell you, at some point, I don't know when, I really don't know how the timescale works, a drought's going to turn up. So we have to get ourselves established before that happens. And as well, on top of that, your beavers have needs. We also have to get that established before they all die of hunger, which, trust me, on one of my playtests happened. It was horrifying. It will possibly put me in therapy for the rest of my life, and we want to avoid that happening anymore in the future. Right, so first, we need to get some wood. That's what, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go get wood. And yes, there will be hundreds of bad puns in this game, and no, I don't apologize for it. Now, we want to get in... Let's come back to about here. And I'm actually going to go and build a third one just in here. Now, these won't, in essence, be where they are kept, but we need to make lots of logs so that we can start our society. Now, this road will probably stay, because all of this lovely green land is irrigated land. This will grow things. All of this grey land will not. And so with that, back here on the grey land, we will build things that don't need access to water. Things like our housing. Maybe some storehouses. Whereas up here, we will save this land all for planting of trees and crops. There you go. Those are going to be built. And then the last thing I'm going to chuck down whilst we're still paused is the berry gathering point. So let's go ahead and unpause that. Those are our most important things. And then after that, we are going to go and stick some water extraction right next to each other, just here. And that will then allow us to also get some water. So that is, in essence, water, logs, and basic food, but the basic food will not last. This is where I usually make my mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Cut down those trees. Cut down those trees. Cut down those trees. Cut down everything. There should be more than enough wood to get a settlement up and running. And so then, with basic water, basic food, and logs, one of the next things we will need is some housing. However, before we go and do housing, because I keep seeming to make this mistake, these guys can, in essence, sleep outside. It doesn't do them much good, but they can sleep outside. I'm guessing as long as there's not bad weather, you're okay. So I am next going to go and place. I'm going to plant a building. Technically, it's made out of wood. That could work. Who knows? We are going to go and place this building. We're going to place it slightly over this way. We will eventually remove some of these berries. They're only a very basic food source, and so they can be removed eventually. So I'm going to go and plant some crops. We're going to start with carrots. You always start with carrots, and we're going to go something like that, I think, to start with. We'll do another row on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautifully done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we will grow it a little bit more. I'm going to go and mark off what I want to do. All of these berries basically in the farm area will be replaced at some point. But for now, of course, we need them because we need to keep feeding our beavers. Let's go ahead and fast forward. We want to make this building a priority because we want water most of all right now. And as you can see, these trees wobbling away as our beavers gnaw at them and chop them down. But yes, this water site is our priority. And let's go and put 2 more beavers in here to keep working away. Now, we have 4 children who will grow up and add to the beaver force. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, it's no longer a workforce, it's a beaver force. But, of course, until that point, we will keep going with what we have. Now, I'm going to go ahead and take one worker off because they seem to just be moving things around and not actually building them. So I don't know if we need a free beaver to build. It does kind of seem that way. Ah, and here, I realize I've gone and made a slight mistake. We need a road. We need a road into our farmhouse. Let's go and carve that in there. It's nice to know that I can simply carve it through the field, probably because I've not actually planted anything yet. So there's technically no resources there. Just hopes and dreams, ladies and gentlemen. Hopes and dreams. There you go. So a builder has now gone and finished that off. And we are starting to pump water out of our beautiful river. And if you look at our beautiful river, we can see it comes from 2 directions. Very, very slowly from this one, and a bit faster from here. And from here, it comes down here. So we have 1 water source here. And it comes very meanderingly from here as well as that. All follows along here. Oh, we've got another water source here. You do have bad water on this as well, which there are uses for. It's not simply something you have to remove. There are uses for bad water. So that is something we will eventually get round to needing. And is that... No, it's not the only source of bad water. Oh, we have this beautiful natural aqueduct running down here, which of course is just begging for us to finish building and continue to make into a further aqueduct and maybe even its own little pool. Who knows? Who knows where that will go? And we seem to have basically lots of blockages preventing water from getting where we might need it. We will look at all of this later. Now, where does this go? Ah, we've got another source of bad water up here. But let's stop wandering around. Where has my beaver town gone? It's probably running away with itself. Beautiful. Let's go and bring that down to 2 people. We have somebody planting those carrots. That's what I want to see. Let's go and pause this building a second. Well, that gets... Yep, someone else on carrots. That's good. We need to build some storage, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's go and grab some medium warehouses. Now, I'm going to face these off in this direction for now. 1 will be for more berries, and 1 will be for carrots. That will allow myself to keep farming increased numbers of resources. And I am going to ask that these do take... Well, no, the berries takes priority for now. Thank you very much. And we are then needing more beavers, because beavers do die on this game, ladies and gentlemen. So they do... You do need to have a replenishing population, you could say. I'm going to start by building a house in here. Okay, that will serve my current population, but of course I want to grow. So let's get 2 more houses. And let us then path them up. Now, if you haven't played this game, let me just explain. I am leaving gaps, etc. in front of the building between the paths, because eventually we will be able to build stairs. And to build stairs to get onto roofs, you need a bit of a gap. And I say to get onto roofs because, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of these buildings are classed as solid. They do say in the description, for instance, if I come down here, it has solid in the description. It's also very, very easy to see simply because they're the buildings with the flat roofs, pretty much. And these buildings you can build on top of. So these glorious, glorious buildings can be improved and can keep giving you wonderful, wonderful bonuses. Now, we also need some inventors. Otherwise, we're never going to learn anything, folks. Now, I'm going to build 1 inventor in here and another one just there. I do like to get a couple because I found on my quick little playthrough, and I could be a little bit wrong, but I did find that you did kind of need... Now, I'm going to go ahead and pause one of these until I've managed to build some water barrel storage, which I am going to go and place just... You know what? Yeah, no, that's fine. Just over here. Get 2 water barrel storages. Mark them up for water. And so now we basically just have a lot of building to do. We have 1 free worker. I'm going to go ahead and say, help out these guys. Because we have so much building to do, it is ridiculous. We still have 2 children waiting to mature. They can, for instance, take the inventors slots. Let's get as many people building as possible. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is our very, very basic beaver society. We should hopefully survive this time. Unlike most of the last times, where, well, let's just say I've messed something up. We, of course, do need one of our last things, but I'm going to put this on a lower priority. We need a large stockpile. I'm going to go and hide this in just in here. This will be for logs. However, I'm going to put this on a lower priority because, quite frankly, we should not max out our capacity for logs because we have all of these buildings to build that require logs. So, on that, we're going to go and hit it fast forward and wait for all of these buildings to get built. That will give us shelter, ladies and gentlemen. That will give us further housing for further beavers to be born. That will give us space to expand this beautiful starting area of Beavertopia. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Look at all of them beavering away. Thank you very much. I told you, folks, it's not going to get any better. It's going to be horrible for the whole playthrough. I'd apologize, but I don't want to. Really, it's just what it is, folks. It's not going to get any better. It's going to be terrible, quite frankly, just absolutely terrible for the whole thing. And so we now have. For housing, everybody has shelter, and with that, we managed to get an average well-being of 4. Now, your average well-being is basically, as you can guess, how well your beavers are doing. Now, they have 5 basic needs, and all of the rest then are simply extras. Now, don't get me wrong, these extras do affect things. The better your beavers are doing, the better they do. Shock and horror. For instance, if you have beavers that are doing really, really well, they might have longer life expectancy. They might move faster. They might work faster. For instance, if we go and select one of our beavers, just to show you what I mean, he works at normal speed. He moves, however, at 5% faster. He has normal life expectancy. As you can see, if I can get up to well-being level 5, he will work 10% faster. How beautiful would that be? And then, so we're going to keep building everything we're building. Like I said, The log pile is on a low priority because, quite frankly, we should not have any logs lying around anywhere. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Beaver children are turning up beautifully. We now have 3 children and 11 adults. Still 4 beds left to go, mind you. We have no spare beavers around to do any work. We're going to take one off him. We're going to make sure, yep, you're fully going. We are now going to make sure that our second water pump is working. And with that, I would also like to make sure the berries are working. We're going to go and pause our second inventor. Not one of my priorities right now. Right now, we need water. Who has gone and lost their worker? Because... oh, no, we got another adult. Beautiful. So everyone has a worker. We are working along just fine. The only thing we have paused is our inventor. I'm happy with 2 workers in the district. Of course, I would like to go up to 4. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to go up to 4. But for now, we will keep it as it is. We have 4 children and 12 adults. Our lovely Beavertopia is growing fantastically. And so with that, we are securing our resources. I saw carrots. I saw carrots. Carrots are growing. Carrots are coming in. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, that will be our food source secured. We also have the berries coming back in. So we should end up with no hungry beavers. We should hopefully now end up with no thirsty beavers with both pumps working. Both of these should be filled in no time. What I am actually going to go and do, because I'm paranoid, I'm going to go and build a 3rd storage tank just there. You, of course, will also hold the glory that is water. And with that, we should be ready for the first drought. Like I said, I don't know when it turns up, but I have no doubt that drought will be coming. And just in case you didn't know, when drought comes, basically, the water sources stop pumping out water. So these lovely water sources all the way up here and up here, which are fueling, are fueling our river, will dry up. Now, of course, there are things you can do against this, but we're not quite there yet. Now, of course, you ask, what can you do against this? Well, we're beavers, folks. We build dams. So I would love to build a dam all the way down here. That would keep this river full of water, even during a drought. Because we do have a natural barrier here, which will stop water going in the opposite direction. And so, with that, that would also keep all of the land you can currently see beautifully irrigated. Now, of course, it will not keep this land up here irrigated, because that relies on this water source. Water only goes so far through the earth, it seems. Who would have thought? And so we would have to block off this up here somewhere as well. However, to do that, we would also have to block off this area to stop this from simply disappearing down here as well. And so, would you look at that? We are now up to well-being level 5. What did we do? We gave everybody a carrot to eat. Who would have thought that a carrot has always been a basic beaver dream? But it has, folks. You heard it here first. And so, we have food secured. We have water secured. It is slowly increasing. That's what I like to see. And we have logs secured. Now, this guy can be paused. He's not really got much to be getting on with. We're going to put him in the inventor slot for now. Then also, do you know what? I'm going to go and pause this guy as well. We do have 60 logs, so we do have a fair few there. And what we need next is we need keep pushing things forward. Now, we have here district management. We'll get to that when we start to expand to a second district. We have basic housing. We have 1 slot left, but going up to 18 beavers is enough for now. We have 1 free. I mean, that would give us 7 free beavers. So we can secure some jobs first. We, of course, have our basic water and food needs met. Woods? Well, we do need planks. But to get planks, we need a power source. Metal, that comes from these lovely scrap towers you see here. And there may just be, without me exploring too far, basically holes in the ground, scrap holes. There you go, we have one here. That would allow us to get, that's in essence, it's an infinite amount of scrap metal. But metal also comes later. We are now simply interested in wood. Why? Because we're beavers. That is what we're good at. We'll have to learn to deal with metal. Of course, the power system, I'll go through that shortly. The science system, which generates our science and allows us to keep unlocking buildings. Our well-being, decorations, and monuments. Now, one thing I am going to quickly chuck down is a campfire. This is another basic need for our lovely beavers, and I would like to build this fairly kind of central to where they're living. I think I'm going to build this just back here. Oh, little pause there. That kind of happens when the autosave takes in. There you go. So we're going to go and build us a campfire right there. Oh, beautiful. They're building it up from the top. And that will allow our beavers to socialize. But anyway, back to what we were about to start looking at. Our water system. We have two forms currently to generate power. Our water wheel and our power wheel. Now, I'm not a great fan of the power wheel. Why, you may ask? Although, of course, I will use it. It is a perfectly valid gameplay mechanic. It's basically a hamster wheel. And quite frankly, I think my beavers are better than that. They deserve more. So what we will be using, and which of course is what I would always recommend that you use to begin with, is the water wheel. So we're going to go and face it in the right direction. We're going to go, I think we're going to plant it down here. In fact, I might, yes, I think I'm going to be sneaky and try and plant it just in here. And that will allow me to just get a power shaft coming up the side of this farm. Now, you're going to go ahead and pause. No, not you. Sorry, I want your building. Because, quite frankly, there's no more berries to gather right now. So there's no point in anyone sat there doing nothing. And then after that, we want the lumber mill. Now, we will, of course, need to run a power shaft into the side of this lumber mill, which of course we will do. Now, you have many different forms of power shaft. We have all of these intersections where we can turn it in all which ways, and then eventually, ladies and gentlemen, we will be able to also go vertical, because that is a wonderfully big thing about this game. You can go vertical. It's, quite frankly, I think it's an amazing thing. That is a big premise of this game. You don't just build getting wider and wider and wider. You build also going vertically. All of these buildings with the flat roofs, I don't know if I've mentioned this yet, but they are solid. Any solid building can be built on top of. Just as you can see here, I have a path that goes along the roof. Now, don't get me wrong. We should probably stick up a sign saying, please keep the foot traffic down after hours, because who wants to live in a house that people keep walking over? But it is an option. And so with that, there you go. Look at our beautiful water wheel going. It is making a whopping 200 horsepower. Now, of course, this all depends on the speed of the river. As you can see, it's dropped down a little bit now to about 180. But 170 is actually getting slower quite rapidly. That could be because a drought is about to hit. You can, of course, manipulate this, because if I block off the rest of the river and give it just the one pass, then guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's going to run faster. There are basic water mechanics and physics in this game. That's where it starts to get complex. And it can start to get very detailed, very interesting, and of course, if you like figuring things out, if you like a bit more of the in-depthness of standard strategy games, that's where it comes in. Now, this map hasn't got too many high points. It's got a couple, but of course, you will get maps which have lots of high points. For instance, now this is an iron underground ruins, which is a little bit different. That's used for scrap metal. But if you had a really high path, you could, as an example, plumb your water all the way up to the top of said path, and then make it beautifully cascade around Beavertopia, or whatever you'd like to call your beaver town. But now we are simply going to... Oh, there's this... Oh, that doesn't work. Oh, no. Oh, no, oh, no. You have to have it at least going into the middle of the building, it seems. Oh, no, no, no. Whew. Breathe. Calm. Of course it's not working. There's no water moving the watermill. I'm just being stupid, ladies and gentlemen. I saw that red circle. I panicked. I was like, what's going on? Have I missed something? Did I do this wrong? Tell me it's not so. But no, it's all okay, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this is the part where... The only part that... I don't know. I think I need to potentially think of a little bit of a better way to do it, because I would like buildings like our paper mill here and the other buildings which are going to require power to not get in the way of our farming areas, our tree planting areas, our beautiful irrigated land which you can't see because we're currently in a drought. Whereas all of these buildings will take up space in what we're going to call the green zone. Because that's what it is, ladies and gentlemen. And so I think we need to find a better way to do these kind of things. That can, of course, be done, because we could simply build paths over the power shaft and just have a thin line of a power shaft just coming to a zone where we're not going to have irrigation. But that is, of course, a future dream, which we will unlock with our beautiful science, which is adding up nicely, I'd like to add. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the episode there. We are currently in our first drought. Can we get out of it in good shape? I reckon so. Can we get out of it with most of our resources, etc. intact? Well, we may be doing a lot of replanting, but we will find out in the next episode. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, that just leaves me to say thank you very much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed it. And until we see you again, as per always, I hope that you'll stay safe, happy, and healthy.